Chapter 4. The Sorting Hat and the Great Hall. The boats carrying the first-year students gently reached the shore beneath the castle. Hagrid led the children up a flight of giant stone steps and stopped in front of a massive oak door. He knocked 3 times. The door swung open at once. A tall, stern-looking witch in emerald green robes stood there. This was Professor McGonagall. She looked over the group and led them inside the castle. The stone walls were lit with flaming torches, and the ceiling was so high that Harry couldn't see the top. "Welcome to Hogwarts," Professor McGonagall said. "The sorting ceremony will begin momentarily. You will be joined to one of 4 houses: Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin. Each house has its own noble history, and it will be like your family here." The Great Hall. When the double doors to the Great Hall opened, Harry gasped. It was more magnificent than anything he had ever imagined. 4 long tables were filled with hundreds of students sitting under floating candles. The plates and goblets were made of solid gold. The most magical part was the ceiling. It looked exactly like the starry night sky outside. "It's bewitched," Hermione whispered next to Harry. "I read about it in Hogwarts, a history." At the front of the hall, the professors sat at a long table. Professor McGonagall placed a 4-legged stool in front of the first years and put an old, patched, and frayed wizard's hat on top of it. The Sorting Hat. The whole room went silent. Suddenly, the hat twitched. A rip near the brim opened wide like a mouth, and the hat began to sing. The song described the traits of each house: the bravery of Gryffindor, the loyalty of Hufflepuff, the wisdom of Ravenclaw, and the ambition of Slytherin. When the song ended, Professor McGonagall stepped forward with a roll of parchment. "When I call your name, you will put on the hat and sit on the stool." Hermione Granger was first. The hat barely touched her head before it shouted, "Gryffindor." Draco Malfoy, a pale boy with a cold face, was sent to Slytherin immediately. Ron Weasley walked up nervously, and the hat chose Gryffindor for him as well. Finally, the name everyone was waiting for was called: Harry Potter. Harry's choice whispers broke out across the hall. Harry felt his legs shaking as he walked to the stool. He pulled the hat down over his eyes until everything went dark. A small voice spoke in his ear. Difficult, very difficult. Plenty of courage, I see. Not a bad mind either, and a thirst to prove yourself. Where shall I put you?" Harry gripped the edges of the stool. He thought to himself over and over, "Not Slytherin, please, not Slytherin." "Not Slytherin, eh?" the voice whispered. "Are you sure? You could be great, you know, but if you're sure, it better be Gryffindor," the hat shouted to the room. "Ed, to the room." Harry took off the hat and walked toward the Gryffindor table to the loudest applause yet. Ron's older brothers even stood up, chanting, "We got Potter, we got Potter."